Welcome to Total Football by Sports Adda. The round of 16s are here, the knockout phase of this important European Championship. All the teams evenly poised, some brilliant fixtures, some really looking forward to some, underdogs shocking the experienced sides. What are your thoughts and what is your take on the two games today?
Yash, we always want to support the underdogs. That is the
Absolutely.
thrill that a neutral fan gets, and the underdogs can't be written off. Just like we saw in the group of death, Hungary proving a thorn in everyone's side. Everyone thought they'd be the whipping dogs of that group, but they proved themselves more than capable of holding their own
Yeah,
over there. And
definitely.
with the round of 16 now coming into play, each team is going to feel a bit of nerves because one mistake is their ticket out of the tournament, or it can prove crucial for the other team going through to the next round. So it's going to be tough for all the teams going forward, but exciting matches ahead because of these conditions.
Yeah, different conditions. For me as well, a different room for me. I've set up my things in a different room because it's a round of 16. You need some changes in the team. So I've got some changes on my end as well. It's going to be fantastic because the first game we have on our hands is Wales versus Denmark. God. Wales versus Denmark, Sid. Wales, the team that really deserved to be there. Denmark, the first team or the one of the rare occasions where you lost two matches and the third game result made sure that they qualified for the round of 16. What do you have to say about these two teams, Sid? Straight up.
Both these teams leaving it late in qualification, living life on the edge, if you may.
Yeah,
But Wales were expected to move into this next round, and the same can be said for Denmark. They were firm favorites to come second, but
absolutely.
with the incident with Christian Eriksen, thankfully he's recovered well. He's having the necessary surgery done to keep him healthy, but he was an integral part of the team, and he has proved to be a motivation of sorts for them as well. Because if you see their performance against Belgium, no one expected Denmark to perform the way they did. They actually took the game to the Belgians.
Yes.
Even in that game, I myself had said Denmark might be in a different headspace, but they came out totally different. They came out taking the game to the Belgians, actually scoring on the second minute. Yusuf Poulsen
Yeah.
stepping up over there. So, and of course, in the last game, absolutely dominant 4-1 winners over there. And even Wales, if you see the performances through the group stages, the early draw and the next few games, they did leave it late for qualification, but they were expected to be there.
Yeah.
Dark horses, both these teams were termed as dark horses coming into the tournament. Denmark, because of the overall quality that they have, and
Yep.
with the Welsh team, with the dearth of experience they have, and their performances in the last Euros as well. Dark horses again over there going all the way to the semi-finals. So a good clash, if you may, over here of evenly poised teams.
Talking of good clashes, Sid, there is an interesting competition today. In the first game, it's Ben Davies versus Yusuf Paulsen. As we know, Paulsen plays on the right flank when he plays for Denmark, and Ben Davies as an out-and-out left back. Not the most defensively sound, one may say, but definitely a brilliant and overall composed, good left back for Tottenham Hotspurs as well. So, what are your thoughts on this competition, this head-to-head player battle here?
So over here is going to be a tactical game, because Ben Davis will want to bomb forward to suppress the attacking threat of Poulsen. Keep him on the
Yeah,
defensive side rather than let him attack the
yeah,
Welsh
correct.
team. And at the same time, Poulsen will want to attack to keep Ben Davis's attacking threat to a minimum because
Yeah,
his crosses on the
absolutely.
left side are an amazing treat for
Smooth.
his strikers.
Yeah,
So
fantastic.
it's going to be an interesting clash. And Paulson also switches with the other winger and also with the central attacking midfielder. Making life a little difficult for the defenders to guess where he's going to be, where he's going to pop up. So it's going to be an interesting clash. And the Welsh side have to be defensively sound and switched on mentally.
Yeah. If you look at this Welsh side, Sid, you think it's more balanced and a bit better than the side that actually reached the Euro semi-finals because of the fact that they've got Aaron Ramsey, now they've got Gareth Bale, Dan James is a young prospect, and you've got Joe Allen who's got that experience out there. So the team, they've got a striker in Moore as well who's tall and strong, and you can get those headers in like he did in the first game. So you think that
Yeah.
he's this attacking, what do you say, quadruple, if I may say, these four attackers, they're good attackers and they've got that good balance out there than the attackers that they had last time around?
I won't say it's better or worse. They have a more rounded team this time. Last
Yeah,
time the Welsh heavily depended on Ramsey and Bale,
yeah,
but 5 years on they are completely different players. They have grown in age, maturity. They have developed as players, but as well with age catching up, they have developed injuries, niggles. So
yeah.
Bale at Tottenham Hotspurs or even Real Madrid, they actually sent Bale to Tottenham to get the minutes under his belt, because while he's a player to watch out for, he has that moment of brilliance in him, like we saw in the Champions League final versus Liverpool, which can turn
Wow,
the game in your favor. But injuries have held him and Ramsey back, playing for the biggest teams in the world, but injuries have kept them out, and the form that they've carried into the tournament isn't the best. They have been playing consistently, but those few breaks in the middle, they hinder their performances. And
that's
as you can
true.
see in this Euros as well, they've depended on the other aspects of their team. So that has helped Welsh, rather the Wales team, grow as a unit. It's not,
Absolutely
and
correct.
also helps them in the sense that the opposing team doesn't have to keep a lookout only for two players. They have to check out the entire team. So it gives more space to the other players to attack the ball.
That's right. That's right. And in all of this, like you just mentioned, from a Denmark perspective, Højbjerg is going to be really crucial because of the fact that he is one of the most important players in Denmark team, and also for the club that he plays for, Tottenham Hotspurs. Right from the days he played for Southampton, he was the player to watch out for because of the fact that whatever he brings to the table, he's the one who does all the dirty work. If I may say, as a defensive
Yeah.
midfielder, he has to put in those tackles, but he's very resilient and he's not reluctant to put in those tackles when he has to. So always getting
Absolutely.
overshadowed by the likes of Kante and Rodri. What are your thoughts?
Obviously he has a very good grassroots and base of his abilities, because he has been trained at the famed Bayern Munich uh, academy, and he
Yeah,
has come through their ranks. He actually broke into the first team, but he was an ambitious player himself and wanted to get more minutes under his belt. And like other players during that time, like Emre Can, etc., he left Bayern Munich to explore and get more minutes under his belt, which did do him a world of good. At Southampton, as you said, he was an integral player over there, formed amazing partnerships with players like Victor Wanyama, etc. And when he came to Tottenham, it has transformed him, because the special one, Jose Mourinho, obviously is very picky when it comes to the players he buys. He doesn't mind spending
yeah,
the money, but
yeah.
he needs those quality players. He's not going to buy any Tom, Dick, or Harry. So that just proves how important Højbjerg is, and that will play an important part in the match. Because even if you see their head to head, it's a slight advantage, because there is always a result from these games between these two
Yeah,
teams. Denmark
exactly.
winning 6, while the Welsh have won 4. So all these players, be it Bale or Højbjerg, will be the defining uh, crucifix who's going to define who wins this match.
Yes. And for me personally, I feel that the Danish side have a far more experienced and a compact defensive line with the likes of
Yeah,
Christian Eriksen, you know, Kasper Schmeichel in goal as well. The son of Peter
yeah,
Schmeichel, who has already won the Euros in the year '92. So these things really matter when you have such experience in the back line. And now when you speak of a Wales, they've got a red card, so one of the most important players of their team is going to be missing out. And now when you look at the Danish side, the defense looks compact, just like I said. So you think this will
yeah.
be a slight advantage in the Denmark team's favor?
So I won't say an exact advantage, because even if you see Ethan Ampadu, he's a very young player, has been in the Welsh team again for a very long time, and a Chelsea prospect nonetheless. But you did see the little bit of inexperience on his side going into the tackle. A bit unlucky with the red card as well, but he learned from this.
Yeah,
And while it comes to the Danish side, they have players playing for some of the biggest teams in the world. Okay, they do venture out a bit more. If you see the Welsh players, they're concentrated in a small fraction. Other than Bale
yeah,
or Ramsey, who've ventured into the Serie A or the Spanish La Liga, they're more or less in the Scottish Premier League or the Premier League. So it's fairly concentrated where they play. and maybe uh, that might be a slight disadvantage because you don't have as much exposure as the Danish players.
Correct. Correct. So yeah, so that's a good start there. And quickly summing it up, Sid, who do you think is going to be emerging victorious? Because polls out there cannot pick a winner because these two are actually
Absolutely.
evenly poised teams. Look at Denmark, you look at Wales. You can't pick a winner, but if you had to, just for today, who do you think is going to be the team to qualify for the quarterfinals?
Just going with everything that's happened in the Euros, unfortunately, what's happened, Christian Eriksen has proved to be a boon for the team because they are extremely motivated to win this for him.
Hmm.
And you've seen that from the last two
Correct.
matches, the 4-1 win, or even taking the game to the Belgians. They were in deep trouble until Kevin De Bruyne came in. So
Yeah.
I think that gives a slight advantage because the headspace that they're in is somewhere everyone wants to be. They just know they have to win. There's no losing attitude. It's go big or go home. The same can be
Absolutely.
said of the Welsh team, but you don't have that same amount of motivation because of one of your players going down. That does It can be detrimental or prove extremely beneficial, which it has for the Danish. So I think it will be a close match and a 2-1 win for the Danish.
You feel the Danish side is much more motivated and has to prove a
Yeah,
point to the world for Christian Eriksen. That's where most people
absolutely.
would agree with you. So, quickly moving on to the second game now. It's Italy versus Austria. Wasting no time here. Italians have been unbeaten in over 30 games. No, exactly 30 games if I'm not wrong.
Yeah,
25 odd wins, 5 draws. That's a phenomenal stat. Straight up, they've not lost in 30 games. The manager Roberto Mancini, known to be a tactical, guru of sorts, he has
yeah.
made sure that his team always maintains shape and is always tactically sound. So, firstly and foremost, I want to ask you about this manager, Roberto Mancini. What are your thoughts on him, and how has he evolved as a individual, in his managerial career as well?
Absolutely. So he's gone from stride to stride, playing for some of the biggest clubs, playing for Italy, winning it all with them. And
Yeah.
now as a manager, he wants to do the same. Okay, he wants to take his country to the pedestal where they deserve to be, and
Yeah.
his record is impeccable. Even if you see his last few games, I believe 11 clean sheets before
Yeah.
today's
Yeah.
game, which is amazing.
Fantastic.
So you
Fantastic.
can just see the tactical tenacity over there of this man, and he sets up his team in such a way there's a good balance of youth and experience. So if you see at the back, the centre back pairing is extremely experienced, around
Yes.
say 50 or 60 odd years of experience within them. But he does rely on them for their tactical know-how as well. If you see in their midfield, there will be an interesting dynamic over there because Verratti is back. Okay, so does he drop Locatelli in favor of him? Because Locatelli has performed admirably when called
Two
upon in the
goals.
last three matches, 2 goals in the last match. So that will be a big concern for Mancini of how he rotates his squad. And speaking of squad rotation, Mancini, when he was taken to the Euros, didn't get to play a single minute, and he's made it a point this time to have everyone play. 25 of his 26 have played a few minutes in this tournament, if not more.
Amazing.
The
That's
only
amazing.
problem with him is, unfortunately, the third place goalkeeper. It's difficult to get in goalkeepers, but he still
Yeah. Yeah.
did that in the last match. He replaced Donnarumma.
Yeah. He got in Sirigu, if I'm not wrong, and he
Yeah,
clearly
Sirigu.
mentioned that, like you said, that he wasn't given a chance to play. So that's really commendable on his part, and that
Yeah,
really brings a lot of team bonding and gelling of sorts. You
yeah.
get a lot of motivation from your manager. But speaking of the Austrian side, they have surprised everyone. They've played some phenomenal football, and David Alaba, the big name from Real Madrid now, or from Bayern earlier, but he has proved a point, and he has made sure that he leads this team to perfection. Being playing in the midfield,
Absolutely.
it's a different job for him, Sid. You think that
Yeah,
his presence with along with Marco Arnautovic, like he's the player to watch out for sure. So these two players have played in tangent, and they have played brilliantly throughout the tournament.
absolutely. Marco Arnautovic, with barring his game when he was banned, the
Yeah,
second one, he does have it in him with those moments of magic, and he is the person that the team will look out for while going to score goals. Okay, but if I talk about the Austrian team, David Alaba has done amazingly, And not only him, even their manager Franco Foda,
Yeah.
he's led them to their first Group 16 match. They've never
Yes.
gone past the group stages before this. So
Yes.
commendable on both their parts, leading their team to the next round and hopefully further. But they've got a stern opposition in the Italians who are on a rich vein of form over the
Really. Yeah.
years. An amazing manager, but you cannot write out of the Austrians because they've played against the best in the group stages as well. They played against the best to qualify, and Arnautovic and David Alaba, players who faced the best consistently
Yes.
in their league days.
It's going to be an interesting match as well, because the history certainly shows that in four major tournaments, Italians have got the upper hand against the Austrians. So stats actually, like you said yesterday in the preview of the round of 16 as well, that these stats don't matter. They matter until you are on the pitch. As soon as you enter
Yeah,
the arena, it's a different ball game altogether. It's a final, like you
absolutely
just said twice, thrice yesterday. You mentioned that every game is a final, Sid. So
true.
you think that the Austrian side is motivated enough to beat this, stalwart of players, this legendary star-studded Italian side here.
Absolutely, because for them, they have qualified for the first time for the round of 16, so
Yeah,
they feel that nothing stops them from going further. Okay, they have already performed beyond measure of what was expected of them over the historical background, if you see. So they know they have overachieved. So they will go big. They'll be like, even if we go out, we've already done better than any other side has till date, right? They're already legends in their own. But if they can go beyond, their names will be written down in history. Alaba will be
absolutely.
an absolute legend for the team, Arnautovic as well. And also the other players, they have a multitude of talent within their team, within Savitzer, etc.
Sabitzer, yeah. So I said you're right. Now, speaking of the Italians here, you cannot not talk about Ciro Immobile. He is been phenomenal. Okay, from the last 2 3 seasons, we also have a chatter. Whenever we talk about the Italian Serie A, we always talk about
Yeah,
this man and how he has been phenomenal. When he plays, he is really proving a point to whichever team he's playing against. He always scores goals, and he has had
absolutely.
that experience against the big teams. You think that this will be just another hurdle for him, and he'll just run over it, and he's going to be cruising out victorious, because the impactful player that he is, you sure expect a lot of great things from him, don't you?
Absolutely, and as I said before, the first match for the Italians as well, they need Immobile to step up because while he has been in and around the Golden Boot for the last 5 seasons, an average of 25 goals, if I'm not wrong, every season in the
Yeah,
last 5 seasons.
correct.
So he is performing admirably and extremely well at the Serie A. But when it comes to the Italian national side, I'd say he needs to step up, and he did in the first match. His link-up play is good. He's scoring goals, but we don't want him to be a Gonzalo Higuain for the Argentinian team
Yeah,
because they go to the finals, but he does not deliver the goods there. Whatever said, he's an amazing striker, but
yeah, that's
on the
true.
day he's not able to get the goals. The chances are missed. The nerves kick in. So with Immobile, the Italians need him to perform. They need him to score. So I think he has it in him. I believe he will score the goals, but time will tell.
Time will definitely tell. And the fact that Austrians have qualified for the first time, they will be nervous as well. The
Yeah,
motivation, set aside, you are nervous because it's a very big age. You've never
yeah,
qualified for the round of 16. Like you said, Franco Foda has done phenomenally
yeah,
to, make this happen. I think since the World Cup in 1954, this is the first time they've qualified for a
yeah,
major tournament in the round of 16. So
yeah.
that's a very big achievement in itself. But Italians
True.
having the upper hand all this while, said, you think that Austrians will be having different tactical game, because Italians, as we always speak about the Italian tactical defending, and the way the link up play that they have
Yeah,
in the middle. You think the Austrians will look at this side and then they will have a different game according to that? Like they'll take that attack and then eventually feel that on a counter they could get that odd goal, or on a set piece, something like that.
absolutely. So I think the Austrians will sit back and look to hit on the counter because
Yeah.
what they'll do is they'll try and draw the Italians out because in their centre back pairing, it's an amazing pairing between Chiellini and Bonucci.
Yes,
Okay,
that's true.
years of experience, but again, that with experience comes age, right? And that might be the difference in that speed, recovery pace. They are amazing. But if they drawn out, okay, if they come towards the halfway line, and the long ball is pinned forward, and maybe Sabitzer or Nautovic can get a run at them.
Yeah,
Maybe that might make a difference on the counter. So I think they'll sit back and look to hit them on the counter and absorb the pressure, because the Italians will be defensively sound. The midfield is strong. Attack obviously with Insigne and Immobile are strong, so they'll look to absorb the pressure
yeah.
and hit on the counter, because they have pacey forwards and they think they can give their centre backs a run for their money.
Absolutely. And still, I also read a couple of articles here and there where it says that Italians are now have adapted to this style under Mancini of 4-2-3-1, where they,
Yeah,
they have these four backs where they have two wing backs, like a very conventional kind of thing, two CDMs, and then the attackers up front, the four attackers that we know, Insigne, Immobile, and players like them. So you think that when Austria will hit on the counter, will it be easy for them because when the wing backs go ahead, it's very difficult to fall back because we have played the games where
absolutely.
you have to run a
Yeah,
lot. So that could be an advantage to the Austrians because they know that Italians are going to come at them hard. So that will be a
yeah,
moment to break through or get that one goal or something like that. Sit on your part.
absolutely. Absolutely. They're going to try and tire them out, wear them out. The Austrians will try and do that to the Italians, because the more the wingbacks have to run forward and back, now with moving to the round of 16, there's no uh, fallback on the league performance. It is
Yeah,
going to go into extra time. It might go to penalties. They will try and drag it on for as long as they can, the
yeah,
Austrians,
correct.
because they will tire out the Italians. A lot of emphasis will be on player substitutions. How do you play that? Do I change in defense to keep my defense fresh? Do I try and bring in an extra attacker to, break through this stubborn defense? So
Yeah.
we'll have to see, and maybe an early goal from either team might change the dynamics as well. So
Yeah.
we'll have to see the squad management at that time and tactics how they evolve during the match.
My finally one of the most important questions that I have for you. I asked you this yesterday also. I'm
Yeah,
going to ask you again. Do you think that Italians, as we saw the 11 clean sheets that they've kept, four of them, three of them have been in this Euros, and Czech Republic was in the preseason, the pre-friendlies of the Euros. So you think that they haven't been tested to the limit because when you play teams like Portugal, France, like I just said yesterday,
yeah,
they are going to come all guns blazing. You have to be the one who has to be the taking the back seat out there. But when you play
yeah,
Austria and all, it's a bit easier in comparison to Portugal. I know you agree with me.
yeah.
So do you think that they haven't been tested to the limit yet, and they could be broken through in the games coming forward?
True. So with that, it'll be a great challenge for Mancini, because he has to keep his team sharp. He doesn't
Yeah,
need complacency to come in, because if complacency comes in, then you're switched off defensively. That one moment where you think, okay, fine, I'm safe, I don't need to run as fast. A striker like Arnautovic can get past you. Alaba might come past you, and that might be the difference between your
yeah.
defending that goal, making that clearance, or the goal being scored against you. So complacency is something that the Italians will have to watch out for, because they are on a good run and they have to keep it going till the final and win that trophy.
There's a lot of support for the
Yeah,
Azuri fans, and
yeah,
they are being termed as winners as well. You speak to different, you watch different people talk,
yeah,
and you just read articles. It's stuff like Italians all the way because no matter what opposition they're going to play, the record itself shows that they have been phenomenal, 30 odd games unbeaten. So
yeah.
Sid, to conclude this, I just want to know your prediction for today and who is going to be the winner and what's going to be the score like.
So I do think the Italians have enough in their arsenal to win this game. I
Yeah.
think the Austrians will sit back and try and absorb the pressure and hit on the counter. But I think the Italians will be too good quality wise for them today, because of the form that they're in. So I think it's going to be a 2-0 win for the Italians today.
Another clean sheet, making it
Yeah,
31. Another win, making it 31 wins, and it'll be a national record in itself because I think the last time
yeah,
around, Sid, you mentioned in the before the show that it was from
yeah,
1935 to 39, something like that.
yes. 30 games unbeaten then.
30 games unbeaten then, 30 games unbeaten here. So good luck to Italy, good luck to Austria, good luck Denmark and Wales as well. Two amazing games today, Sid. Thank you for joining with me. I'll see you tomorrow. Well, let's see what predictions you get right today. 2-1 to Denmark and 2-0
Absolutely.
to Italy. Okay. Thank you so much for joining with me. This was Total Football with Sports Adda. Thank you.